we wanted to do this with you. The talk show hosts, are they great, or do we need to make them great again and kind of go one by one here?
Oh, he's
So,
terrible. He's
great or great again, Jimmy Kimmel?
Well, he's not. He's not. First of all, they all have bad ratings. The one that's the most successful is Greg.
Is who?
Greg Gutfeld. So Jimmy Kimmel, we got to make him great
well,
again.
Jimmy Kimmel's a loser. Look, we would do Jimmy Kimmel. I'd do Jimmy Kimmel. I did him a lot.
Yeah.
He used to greet me on the sidewalk outside of his studio. I'd come in. This was before politics, of course. But I'd come in, and he'd be standing on the sidewalk. Oh, sir, may I bring you in? He'd bring me in every time. And then I ran for politics. I never, got involved with him much. But
Switch up.
all they do is talk bad about Trump. That's all. The whole show is talking bad about Trump. Yeah. They're all equally bad. But we'll go through the View. I know them. So Whoopi's a filthy, filthy mouth on her. I've hired Whoopi over the years, at hotels that I own. We hired her once, and I went. She was so filthy, disgusting, dirty with her mouth that the whole group left. There was nobody watching her. She was a comedian. And you know what? Nobody knows this. She said, I admire you so much. Would you do me a favor, what? Would you do a cameo in a movie I'm making? I did a cameo in some crummy movie she made. And then I run for politics. Joy is, she thought the world was flat. You saw that, right? Joy is dumb. The other one worked for me. She wrote a letter. One of them, I don't know, whatever her name is. She worked for me in the White House. She writes a letter. This was the greatest experience. You're the greatest president. I love you. You're the greatest president. There's nobody. We have the letter someplace. It's a letter that she wrote when she left the White House. Then all of a sudden they hire her and she goes negative. Okay, they said, hey, we'll give you a lot of money if you go negative, whatever her name is. Let's see, the other two I didn't know. Oh, this guy I know, Jimmy Fallon. I'm telling you, I hate to use, but they're all losers. They're all lightweights, though. This guy, so I'm on his show before politics many times, but him and before him, it makes you realize how great Johnny Carson was, actually. That's the only thing, because there's nothing to watch. Their ratings are horrible. They're cutting him back to 4 days, which is, can you imagine cutting Johnny Carson back to 4 days? That didn't happen. But Johnny Carson, I grew up with him and others that were very talented. These people, so Jimmy Fallon asks me if he could do one thing. Could he play with my hair? And I said, what do you want to do that for? I want to see if it's real. It is real, but if you have to do it, you can do it. So he didn't just play. He puts his hand in my hair. And he went crazy. And the audience went wild, and they loved it. And that was the end of that. And it played, and he got very high ratings on the show. 6 months later, he stood up. He was the radical left went after him because they humanized me. And 6 months later, he goes up on the show, and he said, I'd like to apologize for doing that. I didn't realize I was going to humanize. He was a nice guy. And he was doing badly, but now he's doing much worse. He lost his whole audience when he did that. Another loser is Howard Stern.
When he's on that list, yeah. We'll pull him up.
When he left me, because I dropped him, I didn't want to do a show anymore. Howard Stern, because he was considering Hillary. He's not for Hillary. But he wanted to be politically correct or something. Didn't work out too well. His show's practically dead, I think. I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard his name in years, but now he did an interview with her. It was so sad. He's like asking her all these easy questions, like written out. Oh, and what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? And it's just a different guy. I used to do a show. I had numerous of his top 10 shows ever. They had a top 10 list.
Right.
Today, I understand they disbanded the list because I was on it so much. Greg Gutfeld is great. Greg Gutfeld didn't like me when he first started. He just didn't like me. And then I could watch. It was a beautiful thing. He said, I don't like him. But he said he was going to knock out ISIS, and he did. He said he was going to have a strong border, and he did. He said employment, everything was good. He said, I'm starting to like him. Then a little more time goes by. He said, well, am I better off liking somebody who's incompetent or not liking somebody and everything he does works out great for the country? And he ended up liking me a lot. But I did his show 2 weeks ago, and his ratings were the highest ratings he's ever had. Did you know that?
No.
I saw it. It was funny. It was really good.
His show was, and he has some nice people. Tyrus is great. Really nice people. But his show was the highest rated show he's ever had, and he won the weekend television, so that's good. But I really like Greg. Greg is good. Greg is talented. Now, the other one on CBS is just crazy. This one, Stephen Colbert. All he does is talk about me. I don't watch it, but all he does is talk about me. Did you ever hear of Trump derangement syndrome? He's got it more than
He's got it for sure.
Well, Kimmel has it too. Kimmel
threw shots at us for having you on the first time.
He called us doofuses when we had you on.
You know what you do?
And guess what? We
ask
did
him how many.
what he did.
Ask him. Yeah, you do bigger. Yeah, you do. His show's dying. This one show is dying. Colbert is dying. I don't know. They get paid, I assume, a lot of money.
Yeah.
I could get guys for $75,000 a year that have far more talent than him. I'll take, as an example, any one of you. But we could put people on that have, for Peters. So Greg Gutfeld is the only one that's really got talent. He does have talent. He's got an amazing talent.